I often say to people, I'm unlucky that a part of my job comes with fame. I don't like that part of my job.
Why?
Because I don't need it, nor do I want it.
What's the cost of it? The curse?
Oh, I mean, I'm sure you're starting to experience this in many ways in your life. But like, people will never appreciate the beauty and the tranquility that comes with anonymity, the ability to write your story whenever you meet someone. You know, when you meet a stranger, let's say you're at a bar, at a restaurant, in a train station, wherever, you can look at somebody and you can say, "Hello, my name is," and you can tell them who you are. And what we never seem to realize as people is every time we meet a new person, we are writing our story from the beginning and from that moment in time. You know? And you think about this like I think of it through the lens of like characters sometimes. I go, like, if Luke Skywalker met you before Luke meets Yoda, what is Luke? Luke is just like some random dude who lives on like a dusty planet. Hi, my name's Luke. I live on a dusty planet. You meet Luke many years later, and like Luke's like, "Hi, I'm a Jedi." What a different way to live as Luke, and what a different way to be. And I think that's the beauty sometimes that we have that we take for granted as people, is the ability to rewrite a story or to write it from a different perspective because we've moved on and we've gone somewhere else. When you are now known, your anonymity is gone. People have a different idea of what privacy you deserve or don't deserve. I've had many friends who won't go out with me in public because they go, "Hey man, I want to have a meal and not be disturbed. I want to wear whatever clothes I want to wear without worrying that they'll take a picture of me standing next to you and then I'll look terrible." I don't want to think about these things. And I get it. I get where they're coming from. I think many of the downsides of fame are the facts that, as my mom even puts it, you are now owned by the world. People have this idea that no matter what day you're having, you should engage with them. No matter who you're with, you should afford them the time. And I understand it from their perspective because for them, they're seeing you and they're encountering you. What a beautiful experience. But it's hard for us to imagine that that person is just having a day. I remember once joking with an ex of mine, and I was saying, it's amazing how like when we're having like dinner or lunch in public, we can't even tell like an animated story to each other because if someone just sees us from far, it'll look like we're fighting, So now we're sitting there and I can't be like, "Yo, this guy, I was like," and if someone takes that picture and goes like, "Trevor Noah fighting with his," and it's like, no, and that becomes a thing in your world. And now friends are, "Were you fighting?" And other people, you'll be shocked at how pervasive it is. And I think it's why so many celebrities or famous people or people in the public eye have lived very depressed lives, have lived lives where they're isolated, have lived lives where they don't leave their homes, and then you find them, passed out in their bathtub, overdosed on something. Think about how many times you've heard that story. A really famous person has died. You never hear that they've died in public. You never hear that they've died while with their friends. No, it's always them alone in like
a hotel room.
Yeah, a hotel room,
Yeah.
a bathtub, a hot tub. But it's always like such a solitary like ending for somebody and then the whole world cries for them and with them. It's like, "Oh, I can't believe this. What do you, oh, this is so sad." And I'm like, yeah, because you'll be shocked at how lonely being well known can actually be, because it means you can never be alone in many places. And that's where I think core friends are very important.
You said in there that what they don't know is that you're human and that you're going through life in all the same ways as everyone else.
Yeah. Well, no, not in the same ways, but in different ways. And I think that's the, you talk about awareness.
Yeah.
I'm very careful. And maybe it's because of how I was raised as well. Very careful to not make it like a woe is me thing. I'm not like, fame has hurt me and it's harmed me. And, there are many things that have come with it. Every gift is a curse, But many of the things that it came with, I did not want, nor did I need. I like waiting for a table at a restaurant. I genuinely do, and I don't mind that. I don't care I've never been somebody, because my friends have always been the thing. In fact, one of the days I learned the lesson in one of the most practical ways was I love roller coasters and I love going to theme parks. And we used to go with my friends and you do the usual thing. You stand in a line for an hour and then you ride for like 60 seconds and then you walk for like 30 minutes to the next one and then you do it all over again. And I loved it. And then one day I was going to a theme park and then the theme park knew I was coming. And now as the host of the Daily Show, and they're like, hey, listen, we heard that you're at the theme park. We would like to take you around to all the rides. And there's like no skip. You skip the lines and you get to ride as many times as you want. And I was like, this is it. The Daily Show has paid off. Finally, all the death threats are worth it. And we went and we rode on the rides and we were just manic. We did every ride that you couldn't do in a day. And we finished a park that would probably take like, let's say 8 to 10 hours to finish. We did it all multiple times in like the span of like 3 hours. I had a headache. My friends were dehydrated. We had seldom a conversation amongst us. And it was so strange getting back in the car. And this felt like the most depressing theme park experience we'd ever had. And we got back to the house. And I guess because my friends and I like doing this, we sort of tried to understand and analyze what had gone wrong. We're like, why do we feel like this? And we came to the conclusion, we're like, oh, we assumed that we loved the theme park because of the roller coasters. What we didn't realize was we loved the theme parks because it forced us to stand in line for an hour as friends and just be.
Mm.
And we just talk. There's literally, you can't do anything else. You just have to stand there for an hour and just like talk to each other. And then you hear people screaming and they've designed them. Now, like once I did that, I started like learning about theme parks and how brilliant ones do this to you on purpose. They make you wait in certain ways and in certain places. And then the screams of the riders make you anticipate something and become excited. And it's all the ingredients for like living a good life, I feel, is instead of chasing like what seems like the exciting roller coastery thing, you spend your time with the people you love and you look forward to amazing things that you're going to do, hopefully with them or maybe just for yourself. And then when you get there, you enjoy it. And then on the other side, you take a long walk and you commiserate and you share the experience with each other and you get to process what has happened to you so that when you do it again, it becomes novel and interesting and beautiful. And so that's like where I realize like the downsides and the upsides and so I appreciate many of the things that have come with my life. Don't get me wrong, but I won't lie to you. I have as much fun in a comedy club with 70 people in it as I do in an arena with 12,000 people in it. In fact, I have more fun in the comedy club.
It's so paradoxical that adding friction to an experience can make the experience better. But that's kind of what you've described. And as you were talking about it, I was thinking about this study I read ages ago where they took one group of people, they had this boring community forum.
Yeah.
And they took one group of people and they let those people straight into this boring community forum. And then they asked them in a survey after, how was the community?
Yeah.
And all the people said boring. And they took another group of people and they made them wait to get into the forum. They made them complete tests and go through this rigorous process to fight to get into the forum. The people went into the same forum, and then in surveys after, they described the forum as being so much better than the people who weren't made to go through the gauntlet to get in. And it's this idea that friction adds value to the thing. We like fight for it. Like the 40-minute queue is what makes us so grateful for the roller coaster. And when you get robbed of that because you get to play life in easy mode or...
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
That's the curse. Yeah, it's great. But also, the point about connection, I never thought that so much of the enjoyment of going to the theme park is standing there and just small talking for an hour with my friends.
It's just being.